And good afternoon, everyone. How are y'all doing? Blitz Wizard 94 fans. Today we're going to be recapping a recent tournament I just played. This weekend I played in the annual Gulf Coast event. It's an annual event here in Florida. Everyone loves to play the Gulf Coast. Then in November we go Turkey Bowl, and then I think that's just the end of the year. Yeah. Usually it starts with the Florida Championship. Then we have Gulf Coast in October, and then we have Turkey Bowl. After that, I just kind of differentiate. I don't know if there's anything else. I know there's like a Team South Amateur Championship in the villages, but we're just here to recap my first Gulf Coast. So let's get into it. The field was really exciting. I mean, there's a lot of very strong players. The most notable one was this Grandmaster Jianchao, and Jianchao was just such a strong player. Like I could not like that guy was just on another level. I'm just gonna flip the board to my perspective, if so we all can see it from my perspective. I have black against FIA Master Yan, and I drew him in Orlando, and this actually pains me a lot because this was like the game where I was really, like I was proving my worth in this game. Like I could hold against anybody. Sorry about that. It's just like again, it's super weird. The layout of Lead Chess, because ever since they implemented like the new AI, not the new like the new UI, like the user interface, it just kind of got updated, and now there's like a gray part that kind of acts like a little bit of like an outer shell. So for example, if I just scroll a little bit up right here, you will see this little weird gray type of background, which interferes with the whole background. It just makes it look a little bit more blurry, and I don't like that. I like it to be more like this, where you just see that everything is just solid color. It's just really comfortable, and it helps you with your visualization. But enough about the weird Lichess background update. Again, Jan, he's a really strong player. Really strong FM. He actually has one IM norm, so that's pretty cool. And he did get to 2400 FIDE, so he is no doubt a strong player. In fact, if he only got like two more IM norms, he will already be an IM, because he already had a previously he had a 2400 Elo FIDE, and he did have one norm. So two more norms, I'd say he already qualifies for the IM title. You could apply for it, but he's trying to get back into chess. He hasn't really played much in 2 years, and it is what it is. I think Gan is a really strong player, and this game it's honestly where everything just kind of started to go really bad for me. I'll be honest, like this tournament, I kind of rushed it. I didn't really feel prepared. Not like I really am, anyways. But I didn't really have any good reason to come and play this tournament, besides the fact that it was federated and the fact that Jianchao was playing in it. I even managed to take a picture with him, so he's a really cool player. In fact, let me just just go to a different interface. Actually no, not really interface. Let me just just go here. Let me just add more images so you guys can see how cool this was actually. So let me just go over to downloads and feed it. Okay, yeah, so there was me. This is me right now. Oh, whoa. That was crazy. Okay, so this is me right now. This is on board 4. And let me just put this right about here. Should be good. Oh no, round 3, sorry. Round 3. And that was me. Like I was playing on board 4, really strong I guess opportunity. You should call it an opportunity. Let me just, alt it a little bit, maybe a little bit shorter. And like I want to say like this maybe. I think there's fine. I'm not sure if that's good enough, but is it good like this? Um, Let me just like turn off the chat room here. And again, let me just like shorten a bit. Maybe it's like the webcam. I think the webcam needs to be a little bit more shorter. Probably. Okay, there we go. Okay, cool. All right, so we got everything ready. You know, just again here, I'm here in the broadcast, just just editing stuff. It's currently 5 minutes in. Sorry, so no more late introductions. Let's just head right into the game. Again, there you see me. I was playing on board four. Pretty surprising. Well, not really surprised. I knew I would have to play on one of the top boards, considering the first two games I had gone 2-0. So I was eventually gonna play on one of the GT boards. I was extremely happy. I got to play against Jan, and I have black. So let's get into it. So we get moves. If I just click here, sorry, we have the moves D4. I don't know why the board's not working. Sorry, there we go. D4, D5, C4, C6, knight C3, knight F6, knight C3, and E6. I decided to enter the semi-Slav. I did not quite know the theory, but I remember looking at this one Blitz video where Hikaru eventually he did like something with knight D7, and I thought he went for like B6, bishop B7, but no, he went for D takes C4, then B5, and bishop B7. So I kind of confused it, but I thought this was a very simple setup. I go knight B7, he went queen C2, we develop. Then I go for B6 with the idea simply being shelling my bishop on B7, and then I want to later prepare C5. We get E4, we take, and I go bishop B7. And at this point, black is already comfortable. Like, there's nothing much to worry about. Rook E1. I go queen C8, preparing C5, and we get bishop G5. H is templing the bishop. After bishop H4, this is where my main issue comes into the game, because I confuse the order of the plan. So I'm thinking, okay, he plays bishop H4. I could play C5. And I just turn on the engine. You just see that it's practically equal, and C5 is just a really, the NJ will find a way to hold it, most certainly, but it complicates my life for no huge reason. There's no reason to play C5. You know, C5 is what the pattern is supposed to be, but first do let's simply, like I move rook E8, and this bishop is defended. Let's say he does knight takes, I do knight takes, and yeah, and just B4. Now we do C5. It takes, then B5, and we get this really interesting position. Dynamically, it should be fine. C7, or D8. If we go A6, well, not A6 here because he ends up with passed pawns. But you get the idea. Black is doing comfortable here. In fact, I'm pretty sure that he would have not gone before. I'm pretty sure he would have made like a normal move here because he doesn't really want to double his knight. Maybe bishop G3. Then we do C5. We get D takes C5. Bishop takes C5. And black is super comfortable here. This is what I wanted to try to achieve. In the game, however, the reason my rook E8 was way important, I, I decided to play C5 immediately. And D5 just immediately counteracts a lot of interesting tactics. If I were to take, right, and take back and think, okay, I know, I'll just take here, no, bishop takes C7. After knight takes, he has knight D6, which seems kind of silly because I go D7, what does he really do? Oh, just knight takes, queen takes. And he has this move of check, king H8, and bishop here. And then he just forks, I move my queen, and he just takes the rook. I'm down on the whole exchange, I have no compensation. Like, sure, I have a central pawn, and maybe I have some compensation with these pawns, but it's not really actual compensation. It's more just throwing tricks. So that's like a blitz tactic right there. And that's exactly why I did not enter this with knight takes c5. Now, if bishop takes, it's even worse because I'm pretty sure I thought he was gonna do bishop takes here actually, but bishop takes, no, bishop takes I'm fine. Then what was I scared of here? Bishop takes knight. Wait, what? I think I just misevaluated the position. I don't know. There's a move here after bishop. I know the bishop takes is not that great of a move. It's because of knight takes, and then if I do knight takes, it just does bishop takes. And the bishop takes, it does bishop h7. And after I move my king, he just takes the free bishop. That's why. So much calculation went into this. I have to take. That's the best move. He takes back, and not after rook e8. But as you see, I have to waste a move. And after d6, I went bishop f8, which is really not the good move. The only good move here that gives some type of equality is the move c4. But I didn't play c4 simply because f5 wasn't that great. I thought I could just take. After queen takes, I didn't realize that I had to take with the bishop. I thought I had to take with the rook. And he would come in with knight d6. That's why I did not enter this variation. I played bishop d8. We get bishop takes, knight takes, knight takes. After bishop f5, I go queen d8, and I'm equalizing. And then we have this terrible move bishop d3, and everything falls apart here because again I just misevaluate the importance of this position. You know, I have to get rid of this pawn as soon as possible. I cannot let it become a huge thorn in my position. So just bishop b4. Betray the bishop, so rook takes e4. Sorry. Yeah, rook takes e4. And now, what do you do here as white? Let's say rook e1. And if I trade, I'm not doing great. What I should do is maybe I move like queen e8. We get rook takes, queen takes, knight takes, d7, rook e8, rook to e1. And now f6 now line knight d5. And this position should be drawn as the king will go f7 and e6. And again, very, you know, it should be a draw. This should be a draw. It's not really that clear. For example, let's say f3. We get knight c5. And a minimum after we trade everything down, this position should be a draw. It is 5 each side. I should be able to hold this. But that's just a sample line. That's not really saying we will enter this line. But yeah, I did not go for this. My mind, I thought bishop d5 was also holding. It's a move that has no actual reason. What is the point behind playing bishop d5? That is a terrible move. In no world would I have ever played bishop d5 except right now. And I wonder why. I'm just allowing him to maintain that passed pawn. If I try to eliminate with knight takes d7, of course, he could just do queen takes and then he's just up a piece. So I can't do that. I will have to move my rook. In the game, I thought maybe rook f8 would have hold on a little bit longer. I played the best move, which was rook e7, but not rook e1. We get bishop b6. I was annoyed. He got his knight in. I played queen g7, knight d5, rook here, rook d8, king h7, queen check, king back. And after knight g4, I have a moment of hope here where I could have potentially played knight f4. But I did not really consider this move. I considered it afterwards, but I did not consider it at the moment. My theory was simply because I thought they had some potential queen e8 sack, but I realized that doesn't work. So I simply just overlooked it. I was just looking at ways to maintain the position, and I played rook takes e7. Which is so stupid. I mean, again, just play knight f4. I play knight f4. Even if he does knight takes h8, just king f8. And there's nothing. Because when he takes, and I go rook g7, oh sorry, not rook g7, and I go king g8, there's nothing here. Legit nothing. Because I have the pin, which is a really stupid coincidence. He would have to side rook here, and this was like a perpetual check, no? Or what is it? What is it? Is it king f8? Yeah, this is just looking very, very complicated. But luckily, king f8, king g8, and this should be a draw. I saw knight f4. Well, no, I saw it afterwards, but I didn't really see it in that position. I played rook takes because I was just alleviated to finally be able to rid of this really annoying pawn. He took on e6, and then here I have a moment of hope where I could have potentially played h5. But I thought this was still losing either way. After rook take, if I take the knight, hit queen e8 check. Or even better, knight f6, which is simply terrible because it comes with check. Um, and yeah, I did not see the point of h5. I don't know how it defends. I play king f8, and I wasted a lot of time here just calculating king f8. But here I'm already lost, which is quite unfortunate. He played knight takes h6. I should have done rook takes and queen takes and try to enter this endgame right here. I did not think it was worth it. I mean, I'm just down like 2 pawns. I have no compensation. Knight f6 was the engine's preferred move, but this should be a losing game again. Not much to say. White has an extra pawn. Maybe it can help, but it's probably unlikely. And in someone's level like Jan, there's no reason to enter this. So knight takes just full knockout punch. We get pawn takes, queen takes, and I play king f7, which is really, really bad. Should have played king g8, but I didn't play it because I thought he just had g5 and I scored g7. And I'm not. He probably had something here. Check here. Check. Wait, nice. Don't get it. Oh, because you're taking a rookie 7. That makes sense. Yeah, again, there's just so many tactics. I burn a lot of my time here just trying to find the move. But nothing works. Everything is just losing here. I go king f7. And then go rook e8. The best move here is to kill the whole rook, which is so stupid. I mean, yeah. After that, I try rook e8. He goes queen 7 check. At king e8, he goes queen check. I go king up. And at this point, I resign the game, as once I move my king up, he just does check. If I go here, he does check. And if I block, he just does rook takes, king takes, and then queen takes. This is over. There's no point in playing. It's just going to be mate. That's smooth. Let's say rook d6, and that's it. So, yeah, just a terrible, terrible game. I had no reason to even go into this. Like, why did I do this? It was not worth it. I feel like I completely just butchered my position when it shouldn't even have gone to this point. I feel like, again, if I went to, let's see here, if I had gone to, after knight takes here, queen d8, if I had gone bishop before, I, I, I guarantee you that at least 90% of the time, I would not lose this game. I would draw it. Like, at worst, I could draw this. That's at worst. I don't feel like I could lose. This pawn's super weak. But by maintaining my bishop and letting his bishop stay, like, safe, due to the timing, like, white is just simply better. Because this pawn just becomes a really crucial aspect that guarantees him the advantage. If it wasn't for that, I would have been holding. So that is, again, quite saddening to see. But it is what it is. Moving on to round 4. Now this game was a mess. I was just trying to grind and go into a simple endgame, thinking I could maybe outplay my opponent. All props to him. He held his own. I was more frustrated that I just drew Jan, and bro, I really should have. I don't know. Yeah, let's just go into it. We get knight f3, knight c3, takes, knight e7, d4, here takes, h3, bishop 5, bishop e3, takes, e6, bishop g5, bishop d6, castle. A bunch of moves. We eventually have this imbalance with queen and knight. And in this certain position, here I'm thinking about rook d1, which I think is a really cool move. Queen takes, rook takes, position should be balanced, but rook e1. I could potentially put my knight on d3, go for c3, f4, constrict them from playing e5, and I feel great. Now, I was being criticized for this decision of training the queens that go into his endgame. But again, look at it from my point of view. I'm more annoyed that I simply lost against Jan in a position that arguably I shouldn't have lost. I should have easily held it. And for me to just not play bishop 4, that's honestly disappointing. So we get the beginning of what seemed to be a very annoying game. C3, knight d1, b4, stopping c5, I go king f2, e5, knight f3, takes, rook d5, knight f3, rook f5 right here. We get a bunch of shuffling back and forth, f3, up until this moment where I played rook g8, wanting him, baiting him into playing the move rook d7. I would have gone king d3, had he taken, I would have took on g5. And if he had gone to c6, I would be pushing more for a win here. Because, these three pawns, I'm considering a pass pawn here. I feel way comfortable as white in this position. So, also, if he had took on g2 instead, I would have took, and he can't really defend this pawn, doing knight e5, and SpaghettiOs, the rook is hanging. But my opponent saw all these interesting tactics. After rook g8, he went f6, but surprisingly, rook g8 is actually a bad move because of f5, which is surprising, because even though you can take the pawn and it's pinned, just go king c4, and even if I take here, he has rook e7, and after king f8, I'm just losing. He just takes, and this pawn right here is simply the key to victory. However, I did not look at this. I did not calculate this whatsoever. Again, my mind was really clouded. I was just trying to keep the pressure on him. I had 45 minutes of advantage. So we just kept shuffling a bit more. I play knight h2, we take. And I find this really nice move of f4 where he just takes, and now I'm okay. Then I go king e2, and after bishop e6, yeah, again, this turn was disappointing. I really, after I messed up that position against Jian, like, my mind was, I didn't even focus, I'll be honest. After round 3, um, like, me and my friend, like, we weren't even planning to go to this event, but my friend, I told him, the event is FIDE rated, why don't you, like, let's go to it. And I hesitated. I shouldn't have gone to this event, but I want to experience my first Gulf Coast, and I had a good time with him. My friend, he won his first 2 games. He beat 2 2100s, and he had won a lot of ring. And I was telling him, yeah, man, you're winning a lot. You should be 2000. Yeah, and my fee should go up really high too, no? And that's why I had to explain it to him, like, bro, your fee didn't go up at all. You didn't gain shit, because these 2 first games were not FIDE rated. It was just how do I put it? It was USCF games, and the minimum for a FIDE game must be 90 minutes. In this position, bro, like, my friend was just really, really, really. He was like shocked. Damn, if you would have told me that, I would have just canceled the trip and be like, yeah, no, let's not go to it, because we took the 2-day schedule, which basically needs us to play 2 60-minute games instead of 2 90-minute games. So they're not FIDE rated. So my opponent, not my opponent, my friend, he was just kind of sad at that. He was like, oh, damn it, I didn't win any FIDE rating. Like, I won USCF, but I care more about FIDE. So, yeah, it is what it is. But again, back to the game. Knight d4, he goes king d5. What the hell type of move is king d3? What is this move? Just take on b5. If he does a6, I just go back. Or may not go back, it's still winning. I just go here. If he goes here, I just take it. There's no move here. This is so stupid. Because I just go here. Just for giving him an example. He just takes. I go here. He goes here. I go here. He can just take it. I just go here. You go here. I go here. Actually, here I complicated it. Wait. Knight b4 here is better. And after king a3, then I just go knight d5. He just takes. I go here, 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 here. And here I could just trade everything off. Once he just takes, I go king g4. Collect the 2 bad boys and just push my pawns, and there'll be a queen. But no, again, I was just super annoying myself for losing that game, which I shouldn't have lost. That I simply thought, you know what? I didn't even have to think. I just blitzed out the move king d3 right on the spot, which is so stupid. Why would you do this? It makes no sense. Why would I blitz out the king d3? I could just use my time right here and just play knight b5. I'm completely winning. He plays a6, I took an f5, and the rest of the game I just began shuffling. back and forth. And here we have people repetition. Disappointed, definitely. Annoyed, massively. It is what it is. And, I mean, what can you do? In my last round game, I played against a really strong player, Marvin Gao. Really strong player. I have played Marvin in the past a couple times, but I've never played him as a 2200. This is the first time I played him, I think, in over a year. So, or a year or close to two. So, really interesting game, really dynamic. So let me just get into it. Let me just adjust the board, and I have black. So we get the moves e4, c6, 92, and d5. And Marvin, after the game, he was telling me that he showed me some really insane prep. If I remember correctly, after e5, if I were to go d4, he would have done like this weird c3. I would have gone, no, I would have gone c5, and he would have gone b4, which is so weird. Apparently, despite the pawns being on here on c4 and d3, this position is pure equality. Like, look at this weird madness here. Like, the king's on f7, you think, okay, queen f3, but black's actually better here, which is insane. Even with the pawns here, like, black is actually winning. He showed me this really weird prep, and that just shows you how strong Marvin is. E4, c6, 92, d5. We get this c5, knight c6, and he goes c3. I take, he takes back, and after bishop f5, knight f3. I came late to the game. Honestly, during this game, I did not feel like I was going to win. I was just trying to hold my own. To be honest, I didn't really have much motivation. He went knight g3, h4, h6, h5. And after retreat, I go for the move queen b6. He plays bishop b3, I play knight b4. For the only reason after queen e2, I would go queen a6. And I was thinking knight b5, I would go rook c8. But he just castles. I have no threats. Like rook c2, he could just take it. And me and him were discussing this variation, like how, maybe he's a little bit better, but like good weaknesses. He just takes on e1, and I just take here. But he thought it was okay here. But apparently the engine just thinks that this is winning with knight c5. Because even though we take, and my knight gets out, apparently bishop c5 wins this because the knight just simply is trapped. If a5, a3, and you're going for rook c1. Which is completely unbelievable. I can't believe that somehow my knight is actually trapped. But I not even consider this, neither than him, I think. So basically, queen a6 doesn't work, even though it's the top move. I went back with knight c6, and what am I doing? Look, I've wasted a tempo. My position is terrible. All my pawn structures is fixed. He's coming in with the eventual f4, f5 idea. This position sucks. He castles. I go a6, f4, f5. Takes, bishop f2. And I just go king f7. The engine, honestly, at this point, it just recommends me to castle and just give up a freaking pawn. Because at the least, let's say a3, I don't know, bishop d6, b4. At least, black can try to hold up some counterplay. But no, I go king f7. He goes doubling up. I go rook e8. After a couple moves, queen d3. I play this really terrible move, queen c7. The move I should have done here was probably just bishop d6. But a lot of moves work here, so it's really not that great. Either way, it looks like I'm just completely lost. So, it is what it is. Let me just wrap up this game really quickly, because I don't have much battery. Queen c7, king g8. And he did this really nice tactic, knight takes d5. I took back, we get rook takes, knight takes, queen f7, try to trade queens. And after transforming the position to an endgame where he's just up a pawn, Marvin simply liquidates. I try thinking that, maybe I could snap up a couple pawns, but I'm just down 2 pawns. There's no compensation. I'm just playing random here. And he just finishes the game knight 4. If I was going to take on a6, but then I realized, oh no, just knight 4. He played it, and I resigned. So, what is my opinion on this event? Did I have a good time? Not really. I mean, it was whatever. Uh, I just tried my best, and sometimes it just can't be done. Sometimes we aren't really, we just try. We just try our best. But one of the good things was I got to meet and take a picture with this really amazing GM, Jianchao, who was just completely slaying everybody. Like there was a game that he played against Brijesh Chakravarti, who's like a really really strong FM. I'm just gonna randomly scroll through the game and just show you a really small glimpse of it. Because again, I have really really short value right here. So let me just go around four. This is the penultimate round. Like Gian Chao just he made Brijesh look like a random player. He made him look like nobody. And that just goes to show you. Cause I mean, like, look at this game. Just I want you to look at this game that Jianchao played. We get a normal opening here. The players, Brijesh is just trying his own with white. All the pieces get traded. We have a normal endgame. After some point, more pieces get traded. More pieces get traded. And out of nowhere, after C4, Brijesh just lost because he's in Zuzhuan. I'm telling you, like, you can't make this stuff up. This GM just wins these positions. They look drawish after Queen 8, H6, Spy Check, and King H7. Brijesh just resigns. There's no moves. I'm telling you, this GM was just Jianchao is a straight up legend. In fact, I'm just gonna show up one more picture here before I end this recording. Let me just find it really quickly. Like I remember the arbiter told me not to take a picture, but just look at this. Jianchao right there, just drinking a Pepsi, just casually being this random FM. You can't beat this. This was awesome. I mean, getting to play Jianchao was just really really cool experience right here. And overall, in terms of the tournament, this is not my best tournament. It was a little bit mediocre. It was just disappointing, I'll be honest. Like, I didn't lose much elo. I lost like 8 points. And FIDE-wise, I only lost like 7 points probably. It wasn't that much. So, yeah. I feel like I kind of just rushed it. I didn't come with prep or anything. But, I had fun. On the side, in the blitz, it was, I didn't have motivation. And the tournament, to be honest, after the game with Jan, I just couldn't focus on my games. I felt really annoyed and was just a little bit more emotional. I should just maintain my focus and become more patient. But it is what it is. We all have our bad tournaments. It usually gets better. So, with that being said, thank you guys all for watching my recap. And Blitz will drop. See you guys in the next one. Ciao. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and like for more videos.